Everyone, Mr. Love here, coming to you from the Diesel Lab. Today we're going to be doing something very important that every mechanic should know how to do. That's repairing wires. We're going to go through a couple different ways of doing it, from soldering to butt connectors and other repairs like that. So it should be a nice short video, and stay tuned. Every mechanic should have is a good set of wire strippers. So wire strippers come in a bunch of different shapes, sizes, functions of them. Some of them have the strippers up on the top, some have the crimpers up here and the strippers down there. Some of them are just strippers, some are just crimpers, some are just cutters. So in my toolbox, I probably have a dozen different ones. You just get into certain situations where, ones like this won't work, ones like this might not work, shorter ones might be best. So it all depends on the situation, which ones you go for. For overall wire repair on, trucks and tractors and stuff like that, I usually just go for this Snap-on brand one right here. I know Blue Point makes them now, and there's a couple of aftermarket ones, but by far, these are my favorite ones that I use the most for automotive wire repair right here. We got the small crimpers up here. We have a little gripping plier up here we could use. We have the strippers down here, and we have the cutters right here in the crotch of it. These ones by far are the handiest that I've ever used out of dozens of different kinds. So let's get started. We'll just strip back the wire here a little bit. So here we just have a standard 16 gauge automotive type wire. We'll go down to where it says 16 on here. Put it in there. We don't need a lot stripped off. Depends on what we're doing. Sometimes when we're soldering and stuff, we might have a little more stripped off. So we'll start with soldering. So we'll strip down just a little bit further on here. We just squeeze it, give it a little twist, and we just pull it off like that. And we should have all the wire come out cleanly. We shouldn't have cut through all the strands of it. The coating should be, a nice clean break on there. You can see this is stranded wire, unlike solid core wire that you see in electrical, home use and stuff like that. This is multiple strands of copper wire in here. So we'll strip the other end back here, same way. Okay, so you see, nice and easy. Usually I'd give it a little twist now, which we'll see in a minute for our other one, but we're going to solder this one. So we kind of want to spread them apart a little bit, best we can. That way, when they're spread apart, we can now lock them together and give them a little twist. Make sure it's a nice tight connection there. Okay, so we're nice and tight there. Usually when you're repairing this on a vehicle or something, you don't have quite as much room for doing that. So, you'll be, in a really tight spot trying to get that, twisted together. The wire is usually going to be a little bit tighter, but this one's out in the open, makes it nice and easy. I could just lay it here and solder it, but today I'm just going to use my little helper fingers here out, so you can see a little bit better. So just crimp each end here. Okay, so usually I'd have my heat shrink tubing already on my wire at this point. I'm going to leave it off for now. We'll put that on later. If this was a wire that I was joining together right now and I went to put my heat shrink tubing on and it was already joined together, I wouldn't be able to get it on there right now. So if you're going to put heat shrink on, make sure that it's out where you can get it on, before you start. So now we need some sort of heating device. So we can use a soldering gun, like this style here. They work pretty good for circuit boards and some soldering of wire when it's out in the open. Usually what you're going to do as a mechanic is some sort of torch. So today we're just going to be using this little torch right here. They do make different tips and stuff you can put on them for soldering circuit boards and stuff like that. But for what we're doing today, we're just going to heat up the wire a little bit with the torch end there. As a mechanic, what I usually always did, I always had my little lighter with me, just a cheap little butane lighter. Has a nice blue flame on it. Get these right at Walmart for like $5. I always carried that in my pocket constantly. I was making, wire repairs daily with heat shrink, butt connectors, and stuff like that. So we'll see those in a second here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get out some solder now. So whenever we're soldering wire, we want to make sure that we have either rosin core solder, like this one here. It's made from, resin from tree sap and stuff like that, or other materials, or a cord solder, just straight up solder, and we use a little flux at that point. What we don't want to use, never want to use, is acid core solder. The acid core solder is good for plumbing pipes and stuff like that, where it takes the coating and stuff off of it, but it destroys our wires here. it would make it corrode and eat away at itself, as it was sitting on there. So we definitely don't want that in our electrical system. So usually I would just pull a little bit, off the roll like that and touch it to it. I'm actually going to cut a piece off for today here. Okay, so I just have a little piece of solder here in my hands. I don't need it very long. I'm going to take my torch here, and now I'm going to heat up the wire a little bit. I want to try not to get too much heat on the actual coating of the wire so that doesn't melt. I want to get all the heat right on the wire there itself. Fire up my little torch here. We have a lot of safety devices on here, so it takes a second to fire up. Lock that on. I'm going to turn on my flame a little bit. I don't want it super hot. So remember, I'm just going to heat up the wire now. Okay, I'm going to do a little test every now and then, see if it starts to melt to it. You see it's starting to melt to the actual wire. Some of it's dripping off, but we want it to actually stick to the wire. See it's starting to seep into the wire there, kind of sweating into it. That's what we want to see right there. Okay, so I got a good amount of solder on there. Looks like a pretty decent connection. After it cools down a little bit here, we'll give it a nice little pull, make sure it's not going to fall apart on us. Again, like I was saying, we don't want to heat up the wire too much. It'll actually melt the coating off the wire. We never want to melt the coating off the wire. Okay, so that's a good little solder repair right there. Take it out of my little magic fingers here. A little pull apart test. Looks pretty good on there. Okay, I'm going to cut my wire here and we'll put a little heat shrink tubing on there. So remember, we want to slide the heat shrink tubing on there before we make a permanent, wire repair where we won't be able to slide it on afterwards. So when I'm selecting how long my heat shrink tubing should be, I want it, a little bit longer than the repair on both sides. It usually comes in little sticks of it like that. I'm just going to cut a little bit off here. So I'll cut a little bit off what I should need there. It's always better to have more than not enough. So we want to make sure this is nice cooled down to the touch before we start sliding this over. We slide it over top of it when it's hot. It's just going to stick to it and not be able to slide any further. So we want to make sure our repair is right in the center of our soldered joint right there. And again, we're going to fire up our torch. Maybe. Okay, there we go. Got it back in lock mode. So turn down the heat again a little bit. So remember, this is called heat shrink, not flame shrink. I'm not going to put the flame right onto it. I'm just going to use the heat off the torch and kind of move it around there a little bit. You can see it kind of starting to suck a little bit closer together there. Right there, it's perfect heat shrink. It's nice, tight against the wire on both ends of it. I don't have any burn marks or anything in it. It's totally coated through there. If I do a flame shrink on it, you can see I could actually start to burn through the heat shrink tubing there, which I don't want to do. If I burnt through it over my soldered end, it wouldn't be any good. I would, leave it open to the elements there. Okay, so that's a textbook little soldering connection right there. It's nice and tight. I can pull hard on it. It's not coming apart. Should be, basically pretty much as strong as the wire itself. We got our coating on there, so the moisture and salt and stuff from the roads aren't going to get into it. Okay, next we'll do a little butt connector thing here. I'll use my other style wire strippers here. I can use, any of them that have a stripper on it. Again, we're a 16 gauge wire, so we're going to the 16 gauge hole there. Okay, so whenever I'm using a butt connector or any kind of, connector that I'm going to put on there, I want to give it a nice little twist there. So all the strands of the wire go down inside the hole there. I don't know if you can see down inside there, but there's that hole down inside there. We want all the wires to go in there. We don't want just partial ones to go down through there. So we'll use an actual heat shrink butt connector on this. So these ones, butt connectors come in multiple, sizes and stuff like that. They're usually color coded. We have a bunch of different ones here. You can see in our bin over here. You can see we have a bunch of different colors in there. Reds are the smaller ones, and we have blues, medium size, and the yellows for, the large ones for most of our automotive type wires. So today for the 16 gauge wire, I use the 16 gauge butt connectors. So these butt connectors here are good from 14 to 16 gauge, says right on it. So this is 16 gauge wire, so I'm using a 16 gauge butt connector. Okay. So we have these little cheapy ones that probably most people, seen in hardware stores and stuff like that. These are okay if you're doing repairs up inside the dash or something like that, or if you're going to put heat shrink coating over this once you're done with it. We'll just use this. The benefit to these is they're nice and cheap, but honestly, I never use these for any of my personal repairs or customer repairs or anything like that. So got my wire twisted here. I'm just going to slide this over there. We want to make sure that it's all the way in there. Once it's all the way in there, I'm going to take my little crimpers here. You can see the style here is color coded. So the red and blue are crimped with the top one there. The bottom one here is for the yellow ones. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that crimper part and I'm going to put it right in there, right in from the edge where the metal actually starts. There's a little plastic on the end of this here, but then it goes to metal. We'll see it better with our other ones here in a second that are transparent. So I'm going to get it right where I want it, make sure the wire's all the way in, then I'm going to squeeze it nice and hard. So once it's squeezed nice and hard, I shouldn't be able to pull it off. Always give it a little test pull before you go any further at this point. If it slides off right then, you have to get another one and start over again. You don't want to get it all together and find out that it pulls apart because you just wasted, all that time right there. And it might have a good crimp on one end, and now you got to cut the wire shorter. So we're going to strip the other end of our wire here. So we've got that stripped back. Give it a nice little twist there so it slides in the hole nicely. I'll use my other crimpers this time here. These ones here, just right up there, is for the crimp. These ones actually have two different ones. They have it for the insulated wire and non-insulated wire. That, make sure it's pushed in all the way. I take my little crimpers right now, put it right where I want it, give it a nice little squeeze right there. Make sure it's nice and tight. It's not going to pull apart. Remember what I said, the style wire, we'd have to have heat shrink tubing over it because look, we could get lots of moisture in there, salt could collect in there, and then rot our wire away pretty quick. Definitely not a permanent repair for the outside of a vehicle or trailer or anything like that. But still nice and strong, pulling on it pretty hard, it's not coming apart. Okay, so I'll show you the other style here. So I'm going to do a cut right there. Again, I'm just going off the little gauges right here. Usually if you're pretty close, it'll work. You just don't want to have too big a wire, in too small a hole. That way you're going to cut through the wire strands. So again, we're going to give it a little twisties right here. This time here, we're going to use our heat shrink butt connector. So it's basically the same as our cheapy butt connector, but it has heat shrink coating all over top of it here. Benefit to these two is you can see inside where you actually have to crimp. You can actually see where the wire's going inside there. So we're going to slide that over the wire, make sure it's in there all the way. You see the wire sliding into there. We want to make sure it's all the way in there because if you crimp it too early without the wire in there, or you start to crimp it and it slides out of there, it's not going to stay on our wire very good. Okay, so I'm going to go in there. Again, I'm going to give it a nice little squeeze there. Give it a little pull, make sure it's nice and tight. Okay, so we just stripped back the other side of our wire right there. We're now going to slide it in to our butt connector, make sure it's in there all the way. Again, want to get it where we need it to be, make sure the wire's in, give it a nice squeeze, pretty much as hard as you can. It's only going to crimp so much with the pliers there. And again, make sure it's nice and tight before you go any further here. Okay, so for this one, I'm just going to use my lighter, but I could use the torch or anything. Same as our other heat shrink tubing. Remember that it's heat shrink, not flame shrink. So we just need to heat off our lighter to actually do the melting here. You can see these melt really nicely around there. We want to make sure we go all the way around. We definitely want to make sure it's sealed on the actual wire right here. Okay, so you can see the style butt connector works way better. It does cost, pretty much 5 times as much. Some of these are, up to 25 cents per butt connector. Usually our little cheapy ones here are, 2 or 3 cents per butt connector. So definitely quite a bit more money, but definitely worth it for, permanent repairs. You should always solder when you can, but honestly, the majority of the time, you'll never be able to solder in the place where you need to be. If you have a wire out in the open where you could do it, or you could put some sort of piece of tin or something in between to protect the other wires in the harness as you solder it, it's good to solder it, but most of the time, we're just going to have to use a butt connector like that. So that's all there is to it.